Cast your mind back to a couple of elections ago when financial planners were one of the big groups that secretly sunk the Labor Party in 2019. Who knew franking credits would get them as fired up as they did? But of course, they told all their customers, and because they trust their financial planner or their accountant more than their local Labor candidate, sorry, Sam, the reality is, guess what happened? Well, we all saw what happened in 2019. Well, something might be about to happen going into the next election as early as next year or the year after, and that's chemists. Now, I'm not talking about Chemist Warehouse, I'm not talking about the big super ones, I'm talking about the suburban ones that your grandparents went to, you take your kids to. These people who know everything about you, know you by name, know you by ailment, and know what you're coming at them with every 30 days. Well, as you know, the federal government is moving to a scenario where you will only, with certain drugs, you'll be able to get 60 days worth, 2 months worth, meaning you only have to go to the pharmacist once. So the cost of going to the pharmacist is halved. Now, if you're sitting around in Canberra, you think, this is magnificent. Look at all the money we're going to save. The only problem is, one of the two parts of the healthcare system that people have their most strong belief in is their local GP, that is the same one that their parents went to or their grandparents went to, and the pharmacist who has been dispensing the drugs in the same suburban areas. Now, I get it. Lots of people do things online and lots of other people go to Chemist Warehouse, but the suburban pharmacy, if it ends up losing half of its revenue because you only may need to go 6 times a year rather than 12, is going to be a trouble. Now, we've talked about this before, where thousands of people set to lose their jobs and many businesses may well explode simply because they are the small businesses that rely upon people coming in and out of their shops. But a couple of other wrinkles here. People who run a pharmacy in the northwest of Sydney, in Carlingford, are out there saying one of the problems with the 60-day thing is they need to have 2 months' worth of drugs on stock all the time. And as we know, during the pandemic, 90% of our drugs are imported from somewhere else, and we're not getting enough coming through to satisfy the quota. But my favourite bit of politics today was that a member of the Labor Party and an Albo loyalist has come out against the policy. The very pharmacist who Albo goes to when he is at home has come out and said, this is a bad idea. She's in Marrickville. There she was giving her local MP a flu jab. She's paid up and proud Labor, but she says this is a terrible idea, and it is like a wrecking ball. Steve Price, have you ever seen a stranger bedfellow ever for somebody arguing against the government that is run by your local MP than the person who helps give drugs to the local MP, who's the Prime Minister, and is saying, mate, you're on the wrong track?
Well, he got a question about that in question time today. The Pharmacy Guild you would admit, I think Paul and Sam may know this as well, are very good lobbyists. They are very, very, very well represented in Canberra. They said today that this could cost 20,000 jobs. Now, I don't ever go to the chemist because I don't take prescribed drugs of any sort. I don't need them. But I presume the chemists are saying if you don't go in there twice, then you're not going to be buying toothbrushes and toothpaste and soap and all of the other things that you might buy from your chemist shop. But is it really going to cost 20,000 jobs?
Well, I look forward to all of the emails that will come your way, because every suburban chemist I talk to say that these are the margins and the things they're talking about. All right, Sam,
Albo's got to be worried about going to get his next prescription,
Mate,
doesn't he?
if the person
I've got a special prescription for you, Prime Minister.
But literally,
I can't find that
take
there.
2 daily, and here's a special mix. It's very clever of the Pharmacy Guild to find this person who's a Labor loyalist,
Sure.
Albo friend coming out and saying
the Pharmacy Guild, absolutely one of the best, if not the best, lobby shop going around. Absolutely. I think they're wrong on this one. I think what they should be focusing on is the clinical outcomes, right? So if they're basing their whole business model of these things, which is very real, and I get that a lot of these guys have taken out enormous mortgages on second and third mortgages on their houses to buy these businesses. If their whole thing is predicated on, frankly, chronically ill people, it's not people like Steve or you or me that might go once every blue moon. It's people that need to go every single month to get their asthma puffers, to get their insulin, whatever it happens to be, that can, frankly, go once every 2 months and save themselves a pile of money.
Yeah, but they're not merchants of misery. I mean, the reality is they're able to work out there are X number of people who buy Y number of drugs every 30 days or 60. So it's budgeting. That means they work out what their revenue is if the interactions are going to drop. And I know that there's things other than the actual prescriptions which push through here.
Yeah.
But in terms of a political outcome, again, a lot of people go to Chemist Warehouse, go to all the big ones around town. But literally in regional areas, where we were in Broken Hill just last night, I was looking this morning, suburban pharmacy, and I think 5 of the 6 pharmacies in that regional town, all suburban pharmacies. They're the very people we're talking about here that may well end up having the political response that the government may think twice. Just think.
I feel sorry for some of those regional business owners and pharmacists who might be affected, but ultimately I care more about the patients, and then if they don't need to go in twice, why make them go in twice? Just so that they can. We're talking a lot of the time here about elderly people who are on a variety of medications for chronic health problems, or other people who are chronically ill and have to be on the same medication.
Well, I can keep score there, and I lost that one 3-1. Being the host, that's worth 4 votes, so it's 4-3. Sorry, guys.